Oftentimes, SOLIDWORKS users may default to exporting files with a set favourite format such as STEP, but by taking time to consider how a model is being used, we can accelerate import times for the recipient, avoid incompatibilities, and collaborate in an effective way. The first thing to do before exporting a file is to consider the software which is importing the file, and the information which is being extracted from it. With this in mind, we can make the best choice for both file type and any detail to include. Rather than choosing a file type only to find out that our recipient cannot open the file, ask which software they are using first. If the file will be opened in SOLIDWORKS, do we even need to export the file? New to SOLIDWORKS 2024, you can now backsave files to 2022 or 2023 version. The Pack and Go functionality can also be used to send large assemblies or drawings while retaining their references. Remember that SOLIDWORKS can only open files of the same year or older, so if our recipient is using an older version, we will need to look at other export options. To export as a different file type, click Save As. Then, use the drop-down for file type to select the desired format. As discussed in our blog for the best file formats to export from SOLIDWORKS, our recommended order of priority for file type exports are Parasolid, ACIS, STEP, IGES, then STL or OBJ. Parasolid is the second best option after a native SOLIDWORKS file, since it is based on the same modelling kernel. Bear in mind that we can bypass this order if we need to send certain information such as appearances. We may use a format such as STEP 214 since it is designed to include appearance information. Different SOLIDWORKS file types may present different export options. We may only need to send a simplified STEP file for a customer's assembly, a PDF of a drawing, or a DXF of a sheet metal flat pattern. If we are sending a sheet metal component for cutting, the manufacturer may only need a DXF or DWG file. We can right-click on a face of the model and click Export to DXF or DWG to do this. It is worthwhile to check the system options for any export file type to see if anything needs to be changed before saving. For DXFs or DWGs, you may want to enable layer mapping to assign identities to specific layers. Alternatively, we may need to send a static representation of an assembly with reduced detail to hide intellectual property. The dfeature tool can be used to create a new, simplified version of a model. We can then deliberately export into a neutral file format such as STEP to further separate it from the original. Since the customer may only need the file for a layers assembly, they should only need external faces and overall dimensions for mating. Since each export file type has its own unique set of options, it is worth reviewing them on a case-by-case basis. Generally, the defaults are acceptable, but consider settings such as export assembly components as separate STEP files for STEP assembly exports, or include layers set not to print for PDFs. If you find yourself receiving files to import, then you should check out our guide for working with imported files to learn more about the tools available to you to speed up imports and make editing possible.